Hi, it's Amelia. Get those ring fingers ready. Here are some cute designs for Valentine's. So the first thing you want to do is start off with your base coat. This is the one I'm using. I picked it up at my local beauty supply store. This is after my fingernails have been coated with the base. Now, ladies, this is the early stage of the relationship. We're going to move in with our polish. I'm using red for my first nail. I went ahead and polished my big finger or my thumb. Heart, I'm using a bigger dotted tool. I've dipped that into my paint and I just place one dot right there on my finger, and then I'm going to place another one directly beside it. I am going to then dip a smaller dotted tool inside that paint, and I'm going to drag the paint on one side of that big dot that I had made first, and then I'm going to do the same on the opposite side to connect the heart together. So this is all it is. If there is something that needs to be filled in, then of course I'm going to dip again with a smaller piece and go ahead and fill that in to make it nice and neat. Ladies, don't force it. Just take your time. It'll all come together. Of course, I thought this was a little bit boring, so I went ahead again and dipped the smaller portion of the dotted tool inside my paint. And I'm going to make some dots going all the way down the center of my thumb. And that is what it looks like when I was through. This was a little bit foggy or on the blurry side, but you'll see what it looks like in a different view. There we go. Look at that. Awesome. Now we're moving on to the next finger. This is the finger we're going to use to point on that guy when he didn't come to our house on Saturday, or he showed up with no chocolate or no rose. I'm just going in with my red polish again with my pointer finger this time. And of course, as soon as I finish painting my finger, we're going to let it dry for a minute. Please try to use the easy to dry paints because it makes it much simpler and less hassle. Once I paint my finger, this is what it looks like, and I'm just going to move along to decorating. I used a paintbrush in this case, or a nail art brush. I don't know what you call it. But I'm just going to just draw some little curves along the tip of my fingers, nothing too fancy, and it goes a little something like this. So I take one end and swoosh, another end, swoosh, and I just do that for about 3 times until I was through. Yes, so ladies, I know you have your dress all laid out already, your shoes about to be on point, then baby hair's gonna be laid on that wig, and your face about to be beat. So hey, let's just get these nails on point so everything will be right for Sunday night. This two-tone heart on my middle finger. I polished half of my finger in pink and half in red. On the pink side, I'm using the big dotted tool again to place a red dot, and I'm just going to use the smaller half again to just drag it down to create that heart. I'm going to fill whatever space is left to be filled in, and then on the red side of town, I am going to do the same thing, this time with pink paint. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bigger dot first at the top, and then I'm going to use the smaller half of the dotting tool to drag that down and stretch that paint or spread that paint all the way down to create the heart. Of course, I'm going in again and I'm making sure that I connect all the dots right there. I may have used that pink part just a little bit longer than the red, or I dragged it a little bit longer. So I'm just going to make sure that I do the same thing on the side of the red to make it look even. They don't have to be twins, but at least they can be sisters. Okay, so this is the finished look for my middle finger, and we're moving on to that ring finger. Is the finished look for my ring finger. I'm going to do something a little different. I am going to paint it in white. And yes, it was so hard to paint this bad boy in white. It was just as complicated as some of the relationships that I've been in, just plain old messy. And ladies, don't try to force in a relationship because Sunday is Valentine's Day. Hey, we can just use Sunday as self-care Sunday. But anywho, moving right along, I cleaned it up because I wasn't about to let it rain on my parade, so I polished it and cleaned off the sides, and then I proceeded to make my flower. So I'm going to put a big dot. Well, this is what I thought I was doing, putting a big dot at one side and then another one on the other side. And I was going to put one on the top and another, y'all know what I'm saying, two at the sides and then one at the top, one at the bottom. That's the flower I was trying to make. Listen, like Ariana Grande said, on to the next. I wasn't about to let it rain on my parade. So I went to my pinky finger and I polished again in red. Of course, once I let it dry, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do what you call like a French tip. Yes, that's what I'm gonna try to do. So I'm gonna go back again and use my paintbrush. Right of the nail, I'm putting my white paint and then I'm gonna go back in with my dotting tool, 3 different sizes from biggest to smallest. I'm gonna place some dots from the top all the way down to the bottom, and this is how it looks. For the final step, add your top coat and this should be your finished look. Yes. Thank me later. It's okay, girl. Just go ahead and have yourself a wonderful Valentine's Day. And if you don't have a man, don't worry. Just do it in the name of Self Care Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. It was really nice having you. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Same place, same time.